You know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. The Scar is better than the Burst, and anyone who disagrees should probably watch the rest of this video, I guess. What is up, everybody? It's Copes here, and today I'm back with another Fortnite video. We're gonna have an honest discussion whether the Scar or the Burst is a better gun to pick up. I know there's a lot of people out there who are just screaming that the Burst is the best gun to ever touch this game, and I want to quiet you down. I want to humble you people. Everyone calm the fuck down. You're not the best player in Fortnite. I promise you that. It's okay to have differing opinions. It's fine, guys. And you don't know what? I'm gonna get roasted in the fucking comment section for saying opinion. You know what? I care a lot about that, and you should stop that because that is mean. So I think the first thing and the obvious thing to talk about is the damage these guns do. So I didn't want to just do this about the blue burst or the green burst or the common burst. I want to do it about all these, and same goes with the Scar, even though there's only 2 of them. So for the common burst, the damage is super low. It's the weakest out of any damage to the body you will do with any assault rifle, including the regular ARs. So the damage is 27, but if you hit a headshot, it's going to be 67. So that is a huge jump. That really is a huge jump. Now let's go over to the blue burst that does 72 damage to the head and 30 to the body. So 30 to the body is okay. That's the same damage though that you're doing with the common AR. So unless you're hitting headshots, I think the blue burst and the regular burst are not good guns to use unless you're hitting multiple shots every time you burst. But in all reality, if you have a Scar, you're going to be shooting that gun so fast that it doesn't really matter how fast you're shooting the burst, because in the time you can get 1 burst off, you're going to be getting 3 shots off with the Scar in reality. The burst is really good for people who are standing still. If you're facing an opponent who's standing still, then yeah, go for the burst all day. But if you're facing a decent player, most likely that person is going to be running around. It's going to be more difficult to hit all 3 shots with the burst, especially a headshot. So already I think the burst, unless you're a god tier player, it's not going to be for everyone. I think the Scar is definitely for those players who like spraying down walls, and for the more average, typical, common player. It's going to be more hard to find for those players, but when they get it, it's definitely the option for them because, you know, it's more of that rarity item that they rarely get because they're probably not getting very far into the game. But I think the Scar is it excels at destroying buildings and just putting people under a lot of pressure. If I see someone has a Scar and I think they're a decent player, I'm not very confident going into that gun battle. I know I can keep building and building and building a lot and hopefully end up rushing them, but if I rush them on a staircase, you know what? I'm going to get sprayed down and my asshole is going to be on fire afterwards. But with the burst, it's not really the same feeling. I can rush someone so easily with the burst, and it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to spray down my walls. Or spray down my stairs, rather. I guess it goes the same with walls as well if you're building some sort of base to try to fight someone. But we're mostly talking about rushing someone. So if I'm facing someone who has a Scar, I'm not going to rush them as I would if they had a burst, because I feel like the burst, it's going to be a lot easier to rush the fuck out of you and blow your head off. And I know some people may say, well, if you rush me, I'm not going to shoot out your walls, I'm going to shoot at you. But the way I build, I'm not just going to allow you to shoot at me. That's just not typically how I'm going to play. I'm going to be more strategic. And I know I'm probably a little bit above average, at least in the building aspect, especially on Xbox. Don't even get me started on PC, I would get fucked. But for Xbox, I would say I'm above average in building. So I'm not just going to allow you to fucking shoot me as I'm building. I'm going to get the advantage on you. And the burst is not going to be able to take out my staircase like the Scar will. The burst definitely excels in far range gun battles. So I really think it's situational for both guns, for every gun out there. Except for the fucking crossbow, the hunting rifle. Those guns are garbage. I guess the hunting rifle's alright. But the crossbow, you know, no situation you want to pick that up. But the Scar is definitely better for that medium range. I would say the burst is better for super, super close range. But at that point, why wouldn't you want a shotgun? and it really excels at far to, I would say, in between medium and far. But the Scar can basically do the same thing. If you're not shooting someone at a very, very far range, which I don't think that typically happens, I would rather just use the sniper rifle and then have that Scar for the medium range and then shotgun for close range. But let's say you don't have a sniper. I would say the blue burst, or any burst rather, definitely excels at the very, very far range. So the Scar is going to do 36 damage to the body and then 72 to the head. We're talking about the gold Scar here. But let's say you hit 3 headshots with the blue burst. You're going to kill somebody. There's no way they're going to survive. With any burst, if you hit 3 headshots, you're going to kill that person. But you're going to do some massive damage if you can get 2 headshots on them, and then they're going to be panicking. They're probably going to be building a lot and trying to get themselves secure in a building so they can heal up, and that's the time you'd probably want to rush them. So let's say you have a Scar and a burst. Those are your only 2 guns. You're getting into a really close encounter. You're going to want the blue burst or any burst over the Scar all day. If you stand still, try to scope down your sights with the Scar, you are going to get destroyed. But if you do it with the burst, you're going to want to aim for that head and hope you get all 3 headshots, but it's definitely the way to go. If you're jumping around, I would say the Scar is the better option than the burst. But if you're going for that deadly one-shot kill, the burst is the way to go. I can see why people like the burst over the Scar. The burst is that gun that you feel so deadly with if you can hit multiple shots with a single burst. But if you're hitting body shots, it just doesn't feel very powerful. Let's say you hit 3 body shots with the blue burst. That's only 90 damage. I feel like I could easily do more damage with the Scar, spraying someone down, and then you can continue to spray down their walls, put a lot of pressure on them, maybe get them to fall back, and then rush them. See, there's so many different scenarios where maybe the burst could be better, but I feel like for most of the scenarios, you're going to want that Scar. The Scar is going to be winning with the reload time, but I don't think the reload time necessarily matters as much as it does with the Scar as it does with the burst. Because the burst, you're going to want to use it a little bit more strategically. Unlike the Scar, you can just spray and spray and spray and reload a lot faster than you can with the burst, and then keep spraying down someone's walls. Another scenario where the Scar is better, if you have an RPG and you want to fire that RPG off and hopefully get it into someone's base, I would say using the Scar with the RPG is a great combination because you can spray down someone's walls and hopefully get that Scar inside their building and do some damage to them while spraying down their walls. Because if you want to shoot an RPG and then spray down their walls with a burst, that's laughable. That's not going to happen. That's not how you're going to be playing. I want people to have an honest discussion whether the burst is better than the Scar. I feel like a lot of people out there in secret are picking up that gold Scar for that blue burst. But online, they're like, the fucking burst is way better than the Scar, you fucking retard. That's what I feel like people are really like. But am I completely wrong? How will I know? I guess I never will. Maybe I'm just a little bit too into conspiracies, but I feel like that's really what's happening. Is there an argument that the burst is better than the AR? I would say hell yeah. I think the burst is better than the AR. I think picking up a common burst for a blue AR is definitely what I would do most of the time. It just really depends how I'm feeling. Do I want to be very accurate and hit my shots? Well, then I'm going with that burst. If I'm feeling just like having a little bit more fun and not taking the game so seriously, I would probably pick the AR over it. But in most scenarios, I'll pick that burst. It's all about personal preference though. I do feel like the Scar is better in more scenarios and situations than it is the burst, but if you think the burst is just that god tier weapon that you need, go for it, pick it up. I'm not stopping you. If you think you can kill me with that burst over a Scar, then I would like to see you try, but you know what? Maybe there will be a 1v1 mode in Fortnite. I would love to see that. You know, we can have a little 1v1, burst versus Scar. You know, we'll see if the Scar is better or if the burst is better. But in all reality, I just had fun making this video. I'm not going to take it too seriously, whatever your opinion is. If you like the burst more, if you like the Scar more, really it doesn't affect me too much. It doesn't affect me at all, honestly. Leave your comments down below. I am interested though. I am interested to see who likes the Scar more than the Burst. I will, if I'm awake during the time that this video is released, I will leave a comment saying Burst and Scar, and you guys can like which one you like more. So if the Scar gets more likes, then it's better. If the Burst gets more likes, then it's better. I know there's going to be a ton of people out there who are going to run to this video and say the Burst is better, because I am going to clickbait the fuck out of you. I'm going to say what should I title it? The Golden Scar is easily better than the Blue Burst. Or why the Golden Scar is easily better than the Blue Burst. Which I do think that, but you know, it's just to get you guys in here. Get the Blue Burst people in here to scream at me and yell at me. So if you're one of those Blue Burst people, you know, I have no hard feelings. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Let's have a discussion, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.